open the door so he has visibility into Mini if needed, and 60's gonna drop 2 with the AWP. Maybe a third gonna come through. No, denied by Savage, who gets 2 of his own. 3v2, still viable for Cold Ass Riding, but Carson gets a wicked shot into heaven to take Savage down for the count, leaving only Jermaine to fend for himself, an AK in his hands, and the bomb as well, which will be planted. So maybe we got another Jermaine 1v3 coming through here.
Well, he got very close to the door, but he clotheslines the first here. One more right around the corner. One snuck past towards control here. Finds the second headshot, going for the third.
Jermaine!
Jermaine does it again. 1v3. Unbelievable.
Wow, unbelievable work. That is just so impressive by Jermaine. The second time in the match, he pulls it off. Unreal. Love to see it. As now they have 15 rounds on the board, 8 chances to close this one out, but what a play for him.
And how are you going to cool down after a play like this? It's only uphill from here. You're up against pistols now. It's going to be FAMAS is the best weaponry, and already Savage has found the first. Great start to this round. Savage finds the double, and it's going to be Polo from Lobby to try and close. Stamina's found himself last alive, and eventually will drop the bomb, but it's actually being planted here. Stamina's good for a second, but it's no Jermaine. He finds the closer, and it will be 16-8 there as the finishing blow.
Oh my goodness, Jermaine, what, just the MVP of that map. There's no doubt in my mind. Every time we're at a critical juncture, he manages to clutch it out for his team, especially on that T side. It's so important to break them. And yeah, I don't know, that was just an unbelievable run by the Coldest Riders. They were able to, just pull off something pretty magical there and get an advantage into the second map.
Oh, and having that player that fiery in the first map and heading into Overpass, which is your map pick, only bodes better for Cold Ass Riding. That has to be such a good feeling. Again, you're up against 5 players with some nice premier experience, and not only are you winning, but you're dominating them. 16-7 was that finishing scoreline. It's such an exciting feat for this team. That's a new premier move up.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, we're just going to hit a quick break here, and we'll be back with more Fragadelphia 15 action in a few moments.
Watch this.
Edit, click share, Discord, share.
What?
What the fuck? That's insane!
Hey guys, welcome back to Fragadelphia 15. A very impressive win there for Cold Ass Riding. We will get to that in just a quick moment, but want to get a read out here. Just a thank you to SteelSeries for sponsoring Fragadelphia. Who has the time to go through a demo and make clips? SteelSeries just released Moments, a free app that allows you to clip, edit, and share all in one place. Record with the click of a button, trim your clip to the moment that matters, and upload directly to Twitter or Discord. Try it now at moments.gg. It is absolutely free. Now, let's talk about that previous matchup, Cole.
Yeah, we could have used that future for Jermaine's 1v3 to really
Yeah.
solidify that finishing blow right there. Unbelievable performance. Not only one 1v3, he had a 1v3 in the retake as well. I mean, what more could you ask from him? Of course, Cold Ass Riding are going to win that map with Jermaine playing as he does here. We're seeing some more multi-fragging from him. Here is the 1v3. He actually found a kill before this. He finds that, isolates that duel, last player low HP, and you just know he has it locked in.
Goodness.
Beautiful headshot there. He had such a great game alongside Polo as well. You know, the IGL lead in the pack is really stepping up to the plate versus a team that I was a little bit afraid of them to have to play. I was expecting a little bit more, especially with their map pick being Nuke. I was interested to see how easily Cold Ass Riding were able to dominate them.
I mean, Jermaine's
Beautiful.
Proving to be one of the scarier players to go up against at LAN. I'll tell you that right now. I'm curious to see what he's going to be able to do here. And we're jumping on over to Overpass, which, you know, this is the pick, as mentioned, of the Cold Ass Riding. And looking at their success on Overpass, we already talked about it earlier on. You know, they were undefeated in the relegation tournament, undefeated in advance. They did suffer a loss against Extra Salt, but there's not really much to draw from that because we mentioned the gap between Extra Salt and the rest of Premier right now. So, I mean, my expectations for them here is that they should be able to perform quite well and on par with NA's finest, especially after what we just saw on Nuke.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. If the same players are doing the same plays, if Jermaine has himself another good game, Landmass maybe can have a little more impact with the op on a map like Overpass, or you know, he can effectively really utilize that towards the A side of things. It's one of the most important roles in the game is that A side opper. Otherwise, it's very difficult to hold. So we can maybe see more from him, but expectations only go up here for me for Cold Ass Riding, especially with the momentum off of that first map. You just got to be feeling it so much. And on LAN, you know, you're with your boys. You get to see Jermaine's reaction, not only after he wins it, but in the server as well. It's just beautiful.
It's just, it's fantastic. And yeah, but you can't get too excited about that. It's just one map, so they have to also cool their heads and make sure that they're ready to rock against what is a very solid roster that they put together for NA's finest. You can't underestimate them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you can see the same sort of counter coming through from NA's finest. They could certainly answer back here. Again, we had high expectations going into a Nuke for this roster. I was expecting Stamina to throw some rounds in the mix there to try and catch them off guard. I think that a lot of times, you know, we had some solid holds, but I didn't see a lot of that aggression that I was expecting coming through from NA's finest. So maybe if they could, you know, nail that down. They didn't get much of a chance on their CT side, to be fair.
Yep.
Again, just really impressive stuff from Cold Ass Riding. I'm excited to see what they have for Overpass. I
mean, wow, that is honestly one of the best starts to a T-side I've seen on Nuke in recent memory. It was really well done by Cold Ass Riding. Usually you have to kind of fight it out a little bit more, and you find that the CTs will get their way, especially after finding 6 rounds on your T-side. Usually you see them get to double digits before the T-side can really strike back, but man, oh man, that was just something else by Cold Ass Riding. And we are going to get going here with round number 1 of map number 2 here on Overpass. Cold Ass Riding's map pick, that means NA's finest, are going to be starting, okay, yeah, on CT side. I got a little crossed up there. The wires got crossed, but we're cleared up here, Cole.
There you are. And B side execute a retake situation. Carson actually committing in towards Pit, but he's going to get overwhelmed. He has a teammate over towards Graffiti. He's starting to get pushed, and eventually the smoke will find him. Drew is going to clear him out. 60s. Get called over, and Stamina's good for 2 headshots as well. That's a nice start here. Nice response in Ace Finest. They could answer this one right back with a nice pistol round and some good bit of momentum as well.
There they are again, celebrating that pistol round victory. They're certainly not deterred by the fact that they lost that first map 1-0 quickly in their favor, and that was just really a dismantling of the attempted hit by Cold Ass Riding.
Very solid stuff right there. Great round from Stamina towards the back of Graffiti, finding 2 kills as well after his teammate goes down. Carson, he did a great job of fighting back and you know, buying time, but couldn't find any kills there. So Stamina really needed to step up to the plate. He did just that here. as we're going to see a decent little half buy-in, not a full commitment. So I think it's going to be 3 rounds in a row that attempted on the save here. Aggression rolling in towards A very quickly. Drew is going to be first inbound. Looking around the corner, Flash makes it a turn. They've rotated a third player in as well. Trying to find the fight. Stamina's going to take down 2. He's going to find himself a third pistol now out, but Jaspim takes it away. He could have got the ace, but Jaspim takes it away from him. Nice 4
They're cheering a little bit too much for an antique around victory, but I think they're trying to be intentionally trying to get into the heads of
Right.
Cold Ass Riding, which I don't have a problem with at all. As Cold Ass Riding, well, I mean, they are certainly going to bounce back here. Perhaps going to get a rifle buy into this round, as they didn't get a bomb plant yet though, so that's going to make it a little more problematic, of course.
Yeah, I think they're going for that 4th round buy actually, and probably just investing a little bit into that last round, a little bit into this round, and maybe what is going on?
That's a weird
here?
one.
Savage has an AK here. Stamina's dropped it. Luckily, Jermaine's able to have some impact with the deagle, maybe 2 kills. Jaspim close by though. It's just a full con present. Savage is going to find the first, but there's 2 more around the corner. He hasn't taken much damage, but Carson nails the headshot, and that'll be the final nail in the coffin. And his finest will take a 3rd.
That's a little risky in my mind to push up the last 2 players through connector, and you knew it was going to be a 1v2 with the player at party, but they did manage to pull it off. So yeah, 3-0 in favor of NA's finest. But here comes that 4th round buy-up that you were mentioning, Cole. Landmass has the AWP in his hands, 3 AKs, and the Galil round out the buy for them. We'll see how this AWP works out for them on their T side. I assume they're going to send it towards long A to try and win that engagement. And indeed, that's where Landmass leaning towards. But look at the aggression from Sixy, who actually misses the shot. It's Reality exchanging a frag with Drew to kick things off. That was over at Water at the B site. So surprising miss for Sixy. We'll see if he can recover from that one and get that frag.
It would have been a nice man advantage for NA Finest to have if they were able to convert, but now they're sitting at a 4v4 with 1:15 left to work around. They can really try and outmaneuver and outplay the defense here, especially with Stamina isolated in this high-risk, high-reward position. Could catch him off guard, certainly, but if he gets cleared, he's dead in the water here, and they're closing in on him slowly but surely. And there it is. There's the back's turn. Drew's going to peek out. He's going to try and find a double. He does nail Jermaine as well. Stamina on for a tear. 10 kills so far in the server, going for the AK. And not only does he get 2 kills with the FAMAS, he upgrades onto it as well. Takes up more map control, and now the flank comes through from Stamina. He finds himself a 3K, going for more. Catches the back. It's a missed shot from Landmass, but it's so much information, so much damage as well.
Landmass down to only 9 HP. This is not a good situation for him to be in. He really wants to save this AWP. The nade is going to do it, though. Jaspim gets the touchdown. And it's 4-0 in favor of NA's finest. They break that full-on buy here coming through from the Cold Ass Riding. And yeah, it's not painting a pretty picture of them kicking off this first half of action. Of course, Overpass can be CT-sided, but usually you see them get around on the board on T-side at least in the first 4.
I love the reaction right there as well, coming through from NA's finest as they do equalize into that 4v4. You can see on your mini map, they were taking control all throughout the map. They were pushing in towards water, and they had Stamina, of course, posted up in that fountain position, just ready to strike as soon as he did. And it does put them in a great spot despite that early 4v4, just maintaining early map control. Now, Cold Ass Riding, they need to have an answer for what we're throwing at them. The aggression from NA's finest, they need to answer it here shortly. They are going to see some further aggression here. It's just going to be a half buy of sorts coming through from Cold Ass Riding. They're kind of rocking with, you know, armor, decent bit of utility, but should maybe best case scenario be looking for a bomb plant.
Yeah, they got the 2 Tech 9s. Maybe they can go for a quick push here off of a flashbang, and that's exactly what's going to happen. There's the flash thrown by Polo. They come charging out into Canal. Carson's ready and waiting, but they take him down. That said, Stamina was also there. He gets 1 with the nade, then 2 with the AK, making it a 4v2, and it's just falling apart for Cold Ass Riding. NA's finest get a 5th round on the board in convincing fashion.
I need a very quick KD check on Stamina right now. That guy is having an absolutely absurd early stage to this map. That has to be a second or third 4K. 15-1.
Oh my
We are 6
goodness.
rounds, and Stamina is pressing the gas. He's not happy with losing Nuke. He wanted that in his map pick. Now he's going to have to take overpass from you, and he's doing it almost single-handedly.
I mean, 3 frags per round at this point. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
That's an impossible pace to keep up. At least you think. He's trying to charge through this molly and get another opener, but man, he takes a lot of damage for that and unfortunately doesn't get anything out of it, so he's going to have to back off. Perhaps some information gain, knowing that there's a player down there, but they only know at least 1 player's in those lower tunnels.
I mean, you can tell how hungry he is to keep that pace. He wanted that opening frag. There's no question about it, but a little bit of a pause in the action here. It's a nice angle from Stamina. He's actually been switched over the op to his hands as he did take that heavy chunk of damage. 60 perfectly capable with the AK in his hands as well, so a good move coming through from NA's finest, but still no commitment. Cold Ass Riding have slowly worked their way up bathrooms, but nothing really sure set in stone, and the good information coming through has allowed for a 3rd player to stack over on this A-bomb site. This hold could be really lethal.
Stamina. Waiting with the AWP and a little fidgety here. He's going to fall off. But Drew, in the meantime, has managed to get a 2K here. Carson and Reality go down. That's off screen. Jermaine does get Stamina as well, so Stamina's run's finally ended, but still 6 standing, and he is no slouch. He gets 2. Polo and Jermaine are down. And is that the bomb down as well? No. Landmass still has the bomb in his back, and they're going to go towards the B site. The Cold Ass Riding. Drew managed to swing around to find Jasmine, leaving only 60. Now he has to get the ace and defusal. Goes through the smoke, connects for the shot, but doesn't realize that he was shooting Landmass at the end of the day. So Cold Ass Riding are on the board.
And the reign of terror from Stamina finally ends as well, as he was able to get taken down after a long last. Drew right there. Great round from him on the lurk towards the opposite side of the map. You saw that 4 players were stacking up towards bathrooms, and I was worried about that A side of hit that was going to come through from Cold Ass Riding, but Drew really saved the day with those 2 kills, changing that play from NA's finest and just totally dismantling that stack as well. 60 going for an early fountain peak here. Good information, but not the frag. It flashed off the angle. They'll be forced to take another approach.
Cold Ass Riding have 2 players leaning in towards playground. One is hanging back actually right where the bomb is in the upper tunnels, and the other player is just hunting around for some information. They actually, Cold Ass Riding, taking control of connector now, so not too shabby for them. Stamina is waiting, and so is 60 near short A. 60 could have an easy shot here. Oh no, he misses it because he just shot a little bit too early. Saw the sliver of the head, got a little too excited, and unfortunately wasn't able to connect there. Savage gonna toss a nade, and it hits 60 right in the arm. Takes him down to 52.
Man, what a heat seeker right there. That's a nice one, but Jazz Pimp, he's looking to regress towards one. Met with 2. It's got to be a missed shot from Landmass, and Polo taken down as well. Got ourselves into a 3v5. It's not over, as we still have those low HP bars, but they got to get bombed. They got to rotate in towards B, and look at the reaction here. It's more aggression coming through from Stamina, and the fallback coming through as well from the CT side back towards the B site. They're going to know exactly where this play lies.
31 seconds left, so it has to come through now. Cold Ass Riding charging on through. Utilities flying away, but yeah, I mean, obviously NA's finest know it's going to come to the B side, but they have to win these engagements. Jermaine's at it again. He gets 1 on Reality, looking for the second one, but Carson shuts him down, and now Drew's just isolated. Can't do anything. Players coming from all sides, and that's going to be the round. So NA's finest, after losing 1, immediately strike back for a 6th on the board.
It's a nice one, not allowing for that T side to break their economy. That's huge. Could be a factor in terms of closing out a nice half here for NA's finest. A much needed one as well, as we obviously saw their slow start on Nuke. But right now we're going to see 4 AKs in a MAC-10. Jermaine forced to play the SMG as he's going to be first in, looking to find the entry frags. It's a nice execute thrown, but can they find any ground? Cold Ass Riding already through the back lines here, but they haven't cleared for Carson, and he'll take 2 heads off. Jazz Pimp finds the MAC-10 as well, and it's a great hold coming through from NA's finest, making another for Carson. He's hungry for more, and Jazz Pimp to find things out as well. It's just a 2-man B-side hold from NA's finest. Get the job done.
Feels like that first map was a warm-up, Cole. I mean,
Maybe.
What the heck is going on right now? They just look unstoppable. This Carson just, oh man, the first one on Savage just looking pretty brutal, and the second one, yeah, they're taking care of business. Cold Ass Riding now relegated back down to pistols only. It's going to be 4 Deagles, the P250, and a flashbang. They do have 4 players with armor, so that'll help out, especially if they can get some rifles into their hands. But Landmass just staring down at a Molotov for the time being. Thrown by Reality, who's trying to ensure they get control of Connector, and, well, they won't have it, in fact. Landmass gets a trade as Carson finds Savage, but now Landmass will go down. So Cold Ass Riding struggling to get through here. Now Reality is taken down by Drew, and Jermaine finds Jaspimp. The pistol's working out here. 2v2. 60 and Stamina still standing, but they're going to have to go for a potential retake here as Drew and Jermaine are already trying to make their way up to the B site. Now 60 has made it up into heaven, and he's going to be looking down and trying to rain down damage with that AWP. But the question is, where will Cold Ass Riding end up going?
They can't turn back through Connector at least. There's still 55 seconds left to work off of. But the B bomb site commitment is going to come through here. The nades will prove it. Smoke for heaven, but reposition from 60 towards Graffiti will make that smoke obsolete. They continue to pressure this B bomb site, but look at this. 60 just holds the line. Maybe a little bit of misfortune, though. Timing could get the best of them, and it does. Jermaine's already snuck his way out, and it's going to be a 1v2. And his finest needed to close this one out, and they might not be able to do so. Stamina up for the task here. He's on 17 frags, making it an 18th. Now it's just Jermaine last alive. He's looking for him. Molotov towards pit. He's unsure of his position. Knows where 60 got cleared, but Jermaine's rotated in towards an off angle. He's going to try and catch him off guard, and you know Jermaine's good in the clutch. He'll find the last one, and it's another clutch from Jermaine to seal the deal. 3K as well.
Yeah, excellent work by him. Again, a player they're leaning on to find those clutch round victories, and that's good for them to find their second. You know, get on the board. Once again, try and find some more on their T side, which has been a bit of a struggle up until this point. That round, you know, a good take of B, of course, as Jermaine is going to take the charge here. 5 AKs, 4 Cold Ass Riding, and over on NA's finest, you have 3 M4s, the AWP and the AUG as Stamina. He's been so lethal for them. I mean, he's still on pace for 2 frags a round, which is insane.
Yeah, he's still having himself an amazing game. You're exactly right. Doing so well. I mean, it's been a key for NA's finest so far, but they're starting to lose a grip on that good economy here. Reality's jump spotted one towards this water position, but the aggression towards Monster already coming through. It's an immediate trade coming through from Polo as they continue their endeavors, but they've hit the brakes. The smokes making them want to fall off, but they have used so much utility in that initial commitment. If they fail to commit to this round, they'll only be left with 2 smokes, 1 Molotov left to execute on towards either site.
Now Reality is going to get that frag on Jermaine, so that's really going to snuff out that aggression into Monster, at least for the moment. Drew, along with Polo, working their way through water. Polo gets one. Carson trades out the player that actually was on the other side. That was Savage, so now a man advantage. That is deleted by Polo. He's playing pretty well in this round, but he will eventually go down to Carson. Drew trades him out, makes it a 1v1. It is Stamina. 18 frags on the board up against Drew, who is looking to perhaps replicate what Jermaine pulled off in that previous round. 29 seconds left on the clock, comes around the corner and doesn't see anything, so he's likely going to commit to the bomb plant, you'd think, eventually, but perhaps his patience will pay off unless he stops looking up to the window. Luckily for him, that smoke is going to guise his position, and Drew will be able to get out without being spotted for now.
He's going to try and play off the smoke as well. He snuck his way in towards Catwalk, so now he can play off this positioning. Great maneuver from Drew to try and close this one out, clearing out all these angles and allowing for some of that pressure to be alleviated. And now I believe he's heard Stamina. He's going to go out for the aggression here, catch him on the retreat. Knows exactly where you are, Stamina. He's going to hunt you down, box the shoulder, but it's Stamina to take a 19th, and of course he will. He's an absolute Goliath in this match.
Unbelievable. Stamina is just taking care of IGL duties. He's top frag, both on the team and in the server, and they're pumped. They're so ready.
So how could you not be pumped right there? Stamina's having himself a great game, and like you mentioned, that's not an easy task against a team like Cold Ass Riding, and on top of that, being forced to call the shots here. I wonder if there's... I almost am in disbelief that he's doing that, because he's doing such a good job with moving around with his crosshair. Yeah, his mechanics on point. Reality, gonna try and peek over the
tip top of this smoke, but in the end gets flashed off, so he has to retreat momentarily. Polo waits for Jaspin to pull off some aggression and punish them immediately through the wall, and it's all cold-ass riding in this round. A little too eager, perhaps, were NA's finest, and 6E does manage to catch one off, but still it's a 2-man advantage for cold-ass riding. Jermaine has control of the B site, so he's calling the bomb over, tell him to get that bomb planted immediately before the rotation comes in, and I love this position from Polo. I mean, you're just not going to look at that when you hear them all over the B site, right? And 6E just gets dropped. No chance for him.
Yeah, nice lockdown right there from Polo to really secure that one. Love to see that. And now Reality got to bail out of this situation. I'm excited to see that NA's finest is showing that CT side aggression. It's exactly what I expected to see on Nuke, but we didn't get to see as much of it because obviously Jermaine really limited the amount of gun rounds they could get across the line. But right there they show it. And it doesn't work out for them. Cold-ass riding maybe finally having a response for what we're seeing from this CT side.
Yeah, it's not too late to come back into this one. They can win out. I mean, it's 8-7, as close as it gets. Even getting to 6 would be pretty good here for cold-ass riding. But looking over at NA's finest, yeah, Reality saving the M4, but the money situation isn't exactly great. So they could opt to force up around the M4, and that's the plan. As Stamina's already done it, everyone else is going to follow suit. It's going to be 4 Deagles and the M4. We've seen how effective they can be with those Deagles, of course. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to pull this one off. But if cold-ass riding come out with another great read like they did in the previous round, well, this could be very quickly piling up in their favor in terms of rounds.
Certainly could here. We'll see what they go for. It does seem like they're forced to respect their opponents a little bit more than what I was hoping for in a round like this where you don't have much to work off of. They have taken water control, which is a plus side, but right now cold-ass riding are really making a play towards this A long position. There's only one to meet it. Stamina, he's in for a world of hurt. If he gets hard cleared, flashbang as well could come over the wall. But they haven't committed just yet, so it's going to be a boost.
Yeah, Stamina waiting patiently here. He's going to get vision on all 3 players. It's going to be very tough for him to pull off, but he gets one. Looking for the second, but no. The wide swing doesn't pay off. Landmass punishes him, and now they're trying to engage at long A, which you can't really blame them for because they could have pulled off a second frag and then really tilted the round in their favor. But cold-ass riding has taken the opportunity that they are given here up towards bathrooms to get 2 frags. 6E gets 1 though in response, and now Carson's managed to take down Savage. 2v2 HP advantage in favor of NA's finest, and Carson's got a pretty good position to peek out here and find a headshot. He's got Jaspin supporting, who finds Polo. It's only Landmass left. The Deagle's trying to pull it off, and now it's Landmass versus Jaspin. You gotta be kidding me. Both players really low. Only 1 shot is needed to win this round, and it's gonna be Jaspimp. The pistol buy-up the pistol buy-up pays off, and a lot of harsh words going the other way.
Yeah, I mean, that's great stuff right there from NA's finest. That's got to feel so good. They even had the perfect read as well. That monster aggression that came through, and then the A side stack. It was just a trap setup from NA's finest that worked out so well, taking down cold-ass riders. Now they haven't toppled the economy just yet. They're still up against a really good buy on this T side, but one more, and NA's finest are looking at a phenomenal half where they can really gather some comfort in terms of, you know, keeping that economy low for the T side and just giving themselves an insurmountable lead that cold-ass riding should not be able to come back.
6E just charges right into connector and takes down Jermaine. And they're going to continue with this aggression. They got punished last time by cold-ass riding, but this time Stamina is back to his usual tricks. He's got 2 more to his name. And a 4v2 in favor of NA's finest. You have to wonder if that previous round really was the death blow to the half here for cold-ass riding.
And now they're going to try and go back towards this B side of things. You can see that Stamina's, he's stood up like a turret. Really good position, hard to clear. We'll see if they expect it, but he should be good for at least 1. And once that happens, his job essentially is done. He'll buy time for the rotates. So just a matter of time. 45 seconds left on the clock. We'll see if he gets cleared. He can tap away at the toes here. So far, not spotted just yet. Is going to be Polo with the AWP. Oh, yeah, there it goes. He finds the first. Not even traded just yet. Instead, a player has joined them, and Landmass has found himself in a rough situation here towards Catwalk. Oh my God! Jaspin nails the headshot, and Carson will upgrade on to a AK.
Whew, stamina up to 23 frags, 23 and 5. Fewest deaths on the team,
Oh my
and
God.
greatest kill to death differential. That is unbelievable. Plus 18 KDD for him. Over on Cold Ass Riding, well, at least they're going to have enough to buy up 4 AKs into this round. Polo, excuse me, 3 AKs and a Galil, and Polo having to settle for the Deagle, but they do have a decent chunky utility to work with into the round, so it shouldn't be too shabby for them, especially if they can get this opening pick.
And I'm not saying it's a single man performance at all coming through from this NA's finest roster, but Stamina has set up not only his team for success in the IGL role, but just finding kills, opening up rounds consistently, and being like an anchor player that's always good for 3. It seems like he's just locking Overpass down right now, and there's nothing that Cold Ass Riding could do about it.
Savage, along with one of his teammates, are looking to work their way outside of connector and in towards short A. They've got a couple of players that are probably going to meet them. They are currently making their way to Fountain, and that is Jermaine and Drew. And yeah, now they're going to meet up and make their way into those short bathrooms where they're going to try and isolate some of the players here. Well, that's Riding really slowing down the pace of play, and oh my goodness, that's a bit of lucky shots coming through that smoke. Stamina gets taken down to 25.
Surely Savage won't expect it, no, he doesn't, and that's going to be a frag still,
Jeez.
despite the low HP bar. He gets his 24th, and now he knows exactly where this play is going to lie. Recycled smoke towards Monster, and Drew's going to be forced to push through it. The catwalk are going to come through, but he doesn't slip past Carson. Instead, it's 2 low HP bars, make it 0, as they take an 11th round in very, very clean fashion.
Wow, this is just looking very one-sided at this point. 11-3 in favor of NA's finest. Stamina has already dropped 24 frags in the first half, which does not happen very
my God.
often, I'll tell you. Wow, what a performance for him. 15th and final round of play here in the first half of action of Overpass. Remember, guys, it's a 1-0 lead in favor of Cold Ass Riding, with a dominant victory there on Nuke 16-7, but this time it's NA's finest taking control.
Yeah, Mirage could be upon us here. Still into the first half, though, and there's just still another chance to take 4. Not the end of the world if they could find it. Easy to come back from that scoreline. Stamina, he gets the 25th, even nearly 26, as it will be 60 that closes out instead onto that frag, and the rotates have arrived. Stamina's already done his job. Now it's for the rest of the team to try and close this one out, and they're up against Savage and Polo. No small task, you can see. Mac 10 from long range, good for the headshot here, but Jazzgun will close the distance. Savage, last alive, is getting chunked down to be closed out, and 60 will end his reign of terror there. It's a 12-3 half right there for NA's finest, and what more could you ask from Stamina?
Oh yeah, that has to feel good.